called. I don't even remember. I am Brad Jost, your host for this evening's festivities. We're going to be talking all kinds of stuff, some really fun stuff. We have Jurassic World live tour. We're going to be talking all about that because we recently went out there and experienced some amazing stuff. So we're going to be talking about Jurassic World live tour. We're going to follow that up with, of course, we're going to talk about Battle at Big Rock. I mean, how could we not, right? I feel like we have to talk about it. It's some of the biggest news right now. And then we're going to follow that up with some new toys from Mattel that have debuted online. We're going to take a look at some of the Primal attack figures from that new upcoming toy line. It's going to be a blast. I'm ready to talk about this stuff. So hopefully people are starting everything up in the chat room over there, starting the conversation. We're going to be talking all about this good stuff. So I don't know. Let's go ahead and start off with Jurassic World live tour. So if you followed us online at all over the past week and a half, however long, we've been going crazy about Jurassic World live tour. It's so awesome. It's pretty simple. It's such an awesome experience. Now, Feld Entertainment was kind enough to bring us down there to be part of some of the first people to ever see Jurassic World live tour in person. They've been working tirelessly on this project, which, if you don't know what it is, it's basically a live show. So think about an arena experience, kind of like a play or a stunt show, all mixed together with animatronic dinosaurs, something that takes place in between Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom. So it's not a retelling of Jurassic World. So you're not going to see like a rehash of a lot of stuff. It's going to be a brand new story. And it's fabulous. Like, how often can we say, look, we got some new canon material, because that's what they're doing. They gave us new canon material. So Battle at Big Rock was not the only canon material I got to experience this past week. Jurassic World live tour was, to me, the bigger experience, the bigger canon material, because I know, everybody out there, especially probably a lot of you viewers here on YouTube, you guys are super excited about canon and what is canon, what's not canon, and this is fully canon, and it fits right in there. It fits right in there, and it doesn't tread on, any of the stuff that you think is canon and maybe this shouldn't be or that shouldn't be. This kind of fits right in. It wedges itself in very nicely and creates a whole new world for Jurassic fans to explore, and I think it's really awesome. So I know I'm glancing over here in the chat, and I see somebody mentioned, please no live tour spoilers. Please, I haven't seen it and I don't want to be spoiled. Yeah. All right. So for anybody who is nervous right now about spoilers or anything like that, no, we will not be spoiling anything. So don't worry about that. We're going to stay clean, stay fresh as far as spoilers are concerned. It's just going to be a general talk about Jurassic World live tour. I'm going to show you some pictures and stuff like that. We're going to talk about the experience that we had going to see it, but I'm not going to spoil anything. I want you guys to experience this as fresh as possible. Throughout our run of podcasts in the near future, we will go into spoiler territory, and we will carefully indicate that, just in case you guys are wondering, are they going to spoil us something from the live show? We will definitely indicate whether or not. In the chat, I'll go ahead and try to answer everything as best as I can. We did get a lot of information. Actually, we got a lot of information back in like April, and then we got some more information. So yeah, keep throwing your questions in there about the live tour. I'll try to get to them as best as I can. So basically what happened was Feld Entertainment, invited us down there along with Jurassic Outpost. So we were part of like a VIP experience where we got to go down to their studios, which were like, it was an incredible place. So it's such an awesome building one of the biggest buildings you could ever see, I feel like, in terms of just, it's monstrous. Like, you can look like, I don't know, like you look like super far down. I feel like there was like football fields worth of space inside some of these rooms, and it was awesome. It was really, really awesome. So they brought us down there. We get to check out the studio. So they bring us into their space where they're rehearsing. They set up the entire stage and everything that you've seen probably in the pictures that actually, when it was at the press day that we went to back in New York, where they actually had like a model of the stage, what everything would look like. They had some vehicles, some different things out there. There was like big trees and stuff in the background. All of this is part of the show. It really plays into your experience for the live tour. So when you're down on the ground, when we actually did get to see the show, we sat like in the ground seats, which was incredible. So around the arena, so, places like basketball arenas, hockey arena, like stuff like that, that's where this is going to be. So really, really big places with a ton of room, a ton of space. So there's this like element of like rocks. Oh man, my hands are disappearing. Into space they go. But there's an element of like rocks and ferns and all kinds of foliage and stuff around the show floor. And then behind everything in the back, sort of like if you were to go view a concert in an arena, the stage would be all the way on the far end of the stage. That's where they have like a giant screen set up with stuff in, that kind of comes through the curtain. There's like two entrances on either side. There's like these trees that move around and stuff. Really, really awesome. And the projections that go on that back wall, man, those are incredible. And I know somebody just asked, what are we talking about? We're talking about Jurassic World Live Tour. You know what? While we're doing this, I'm going to actually go ahead and throw this in the background so you can get an idea. So there we go. We're doing the Let's Talk Jurassic. I even bumbled the name when I started the thing. I was having some issues getting this thing running. And if Feld's listening, you guys understand what that's like. I'll tell you about that a little bit later, everybody. But yeah, it wouldn't be podcasting without issues. So this is a talk about Jurassic World Live Tour, not spoiling anything, just keeping it light, and talking about our festivities that we went down to visit them and check out the show. So basically, that's the stage presence that you get there. And they brought us down there, and when we got there, we got to see them working on a scene. They were kind of out there on the show floor, but not real. They weren't like in character fully, like they weren't in their costumes. There was no props or anything out there. They're just kind of rehearsing the scene, going through it step by step, stopping, rewinding, going back, redoing things. It really was probably a matter of 30 seconds worth of a scene, but it was really cool to see them changing things on the fly and kind of going through the show, rehearsing it on the fly right in front of us. It was so cool to see that, like to see this magic before your eyes. Like, and like I said, there was no stage presence as far as props or costumes or anything, but it was still a really cool thing to see in front of you. The directors are right there, channeling the things that they want to see. Like, we want to see you guys turn, face the audience a certain way, look this way, look that way. It's really cool to see them working, to be honest. Like, maybe that sounds boring to some people, but it was actually really cool to see them working on the show in progress, and to see that this is an ever-evolving, thing. It's not a movie. A movie is once you're done, once you get that on the screen, it's done. Like, unless you're George Lucas, I guess, then you can kind of tweak things and throw in some other stuff, down the road. But a movie's done. Once it's out there, once it's, the viewer's product, like, that's it. But this live tour, it was really cool to hear them talk about how, as they progress, as they go along, they're going to just get better and better at this. And they're going to hit their marks better. They're going to know what to do better once they see this in front of audiences, see what audiences are reacting to. I'm really excited to see that when that happens. We got to view it in such a small quarters where, there was only a handful of people in there. And they were really playing to those people. Like, like spot on, just like going up to people, talking to people in the audience. And like I said, I'm not going to spoil anything about the show, but there were some fun elements where they kind of interacted with the audience a little bit. So I think you guys will really, really enjoy that. Let's see. So we showed up there. They did that scene, and then we set up a podcast roundtable, which was it was funny. So I brought a ton of equipment, right? So I brought like at least for like setting up a small podcast roundtable. I brought a mixer, very small. I brought a computer. I brought a ton of wires, microphones, all of which, I had tested. Everything worked spot on. It worked great. Everything was stellar. And then, we get there, we set everything up, and it didn't work. Something was failing. And I wasn't picking up any audio. The program I was using, the file was just non-existent. It wasn't anywhere to be found. So I would have had to start from scratch, rebuild the file in order to get the audio program up and running to channel all the mics that were there, because we set up a ton of mics, wireless mics, wired mics. It was a big process for us in that quick moment. And once I realized things were going south, we just had to switch it up and try something different and just get right into it. So I found out once I got home that the computer I was using, my wife's computer, I saved a bunch of files, a folder and everything for the Jurassic Park podcast so we could get everything up and running once we got to their studios. But it turns out that folder I stored everything in was synced up to our computer at home. So once I left the house, that folder just disappeared. So that's why it was such a scramble to get everything up and running. The audio that you heard in our episode that we released was just my cell phone. So we did the best we could with the circumstances at hand. And I think the audio sounded pretty good. So I was really happy about that. I think the conversation went awesome. It was really, really great to talk with everybody out there. So we got to learn about the casting and everything. Jessica Ferris is a delight to talk to every time. She's awesome. Dan Shipton, Ross Nicholson, the directors for the show, they are super insightful. It's really great to talk with them. We met the three of them back in New York. Also, Corey McCourt, who handles a lot of the dinosaurs and the props and such. He's really cool, and he has a great insight into building these things. James Shea, he was in New York as well. It's just great to hear about like the choreography, the stunts, everything that's going on with this show. Like, there is so much that they need to maintain, and it's, especially when you see this show, it's going to blow you away how much is going on all at once. And then we had Ryan Cooper as well, and he was a new addition. I had never met him before, but it was great to get his insight into the behind the scenes. So we did that. We also had Aaron Beyer. Aaron, he's on the Jurassic Wire segment. I think he joined me once here in the live stream, and the two of us tackled this interview together. We got a lot of information for you guys. So if you haven't checked that out yet, go to our podcast feed, which you can find on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, our website, JurassicParkPodcast.com, or here on YouTube. We actually do have a video version. It's not really like a video of the interaction, but it's just something we put together for the audio. So check out that recording. I think it came out really good. It was really fun to do, and I think we learned some really important information. Let me throw this up here because I have a picture. So what you're seeing here is the space. So when we showed up, that scene that I was talking about was being played out right back there, like right in front of like that whatever you call the facility that you see back there, but also more towards us. And then they cleared out. We set up this table right there on the edge of the show floor. It was crazy. It was really cool. And while we're podcasting, they're throwing up these like really impressive visuals in the background. The lights are changing every now and then, just to set the mood for you guys, so you know what we felt when we were podcasting. So yeah, they were changing the visuals on that backdrop there, which is back projected, so it comes from the rear and projects like awesome visuals on the back, changing the scenery depending on where where the show is going. Well, not like their pit stops in cities, but I mean like as far as the storylines going. So if you guys do have questions about Jurassic World Live Tour, throw them in the chat. I'll try to get to them when I can and answer as much as I can for you guys. Let's see here. All right, so let's move on here. We got some more slides. So I'm sure you guys saw this image here. This was their debut of the T-Rex. So after our podcast, we did get a look at some of the animatronics floating around. There was like and they've announced all these dinosaurs. This is not really spoilers or anything. They announced all the dinosaurs. There's like 7 different species. There's 20-something total dinosaurs in the show. And this, like I said, this is the first image of the T-Rex that they released, full size, full accuracy to the films. It's incredible. It's incredible. It sounds just like her, moves impressively, and yeah, like I said, throughout the day we were getting glimpses at animatronics. We saw stuff like through curtains and off to the side, and some stuff we weren't allowed to take pictures of. At one point, we might have gotten a look at the T-Rex and the Indominus, and it was super impressive to see these things in person, standing right there before you. And let me tell you, when you're standing next to that T-Rex, like I was channeling like Dr. Alan Grant and Ian Malcolm, like I felt like I was there with like a flare, like, hey, 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 like it was intimidating. And for them to stand around these things all day long and to rehearse around them, that is incredible. I just imagine that experience is super exciting and thrilling. It really was for the few short moments that we got to do that. We also did get to tour their facilities in full. Well, I mean, as much as they showed us, it was really awesome. Like I said, these giant buildings for all of their IPs, because they do all kinds of different IPs out there, like Disney on Ice. You got Sesame Street Live. There's like Monster Jam with giant monster trucks and stuff. So there's a lot of products out there that they're shipping out all across the world, and you get to see these live experiences, but we got to see them behind the scenes and see the rooms that they're working on these things, where they're holding the costumes, where they're working on the imagery and stuff like that. It was really cool to see this stuff, even like the garage where they're retooling these vehicles. Really, really impressive stuff. So we get to do that. Then they gave us some food. We also got to see these animatronics, like I'm saying. And we also did get a look at the merchandise, which I'm going to show you guys in another video. That's going to take me a bit longer. So stay tuned for that. You will be seeing a lot more from the merchandise. And then we get to see the whole entire live show. So let me see here. Where do I even start with this? Because it was just incredible. Like, the nerves, like the anticipation of seeing this thing in person. And, you know, before this picture was released, just not knowing what the T-Rex would look like. We heard all about the fact that this was going to look just like the one in the movie, but I mean, we just didn't know. We had no clue. And it was really impressive. It got off to like a slow start and just went off running. And there's so many dinosaurs. And honestly, like the dinosaurs, in some cases, took a back seat for me because like there's so much action, motorcycle stunts, fighting. It really felt like at times like an Indiana Jones show. Like if you guys go down to Orlando and you go to Disney's Hollywood Studios, you get to see the Indiana Jones stunt spectacular. It felt like something like that, where you're seeing them act out this performance in front of you. New characters are running and biting and fighting and doing all kinds of incredible stuff, all in new areas, new arenas, new things that you'd want to see from a Jurassic film or story, a book, or a TV show. So, you know, you guys got to consider this. If you have not got your tickets yet, go get those tickets. I don't know what you're waiting for. Pick up some tickets because this is impressive. This show is really cool. There's a lot of canon material that you guys are not going to want to miss. So like I said, we go to new facilities. We see see dinosaurs in a new light. We see them in brand new ways that you would not expect. We see so much like connectivity between the stories that we know. And they laid it out to us when we talked to them in person that there's a lot of Easter eggs. I can confirm that there's plenty of Easter eggs throughout the show. Easter eggs that are hidden, Easter eggs that are on the surface, character names, places, things, all this stuff mentioned. And it's really impressive. And like I said, for anybody maybe just hopping in, this is a brand new story set between Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom. So it's not a retelling. It's not a retelling. There's new characters, new characters that I'll say. The main character, Dr. Kate Walker, played by Madison Embry, is awesome. She's such an incredible character, and Madison brings her to life in such a interesting way and a unique way that is thrilling and adventurous. And like I said, this is like an Indiana Jones show. So you mix that with Jurassic, and it's just so thrilling. And the character of Dr. Kate Walker is up there with any of the best characters in the Jurassic franchise, to be honest. I know a lot of people will say, yes, I get it. They sent you down there. They offered you this event. You got to see it for free and do all this stuff. But that really is honestly not playing into my reaction to the show. I was just thrilled. And you guys know me. Like, I love almost everything that is produced for Jurassic. And this was no different. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was, like I said, all the things you could want. And they didn't have to go so hard. They didn't have to be, really kind to the hardcore audience. All they have to do is go out there and impress the general public and the general audience that want to see a fun stunt show, and a fun family show, and something that they can bring their kids or their parents or whoever to. But they satisfied the Jurassic fan, in like ways that you would just not expect. It was so awesome to hear like the time and effort that they went to bring this to life in fun and new, innovative ways, and to make Jurassic fans really feel something special. So I think you guys are really going to love that. So like I said, if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm going to go ahead and see here. What do we got? We got Rob K, new sub. What's up? What's up, man? What's up, Rob? How long is the new live tour? And that comes from Diz2121. So in terms of, I guess, how long is the show itself? Sorry, I'm just changing the visuals here because I was like showing up. Oh, nope. Too much. All right. Oh, my nose is still disappearing. How can I get rid of that? Oh, too much. Oh, no, I'm gone. All right. It is what it is. So how long is the new live tour? So the first half, oh man, see, I don't have the exact figures or anything like that. The first half was, wow, it felt like it was 40, 45 minutes. And when I was sitting there, I almost felt like, oh man, that was short. But that's not short. Like thinking back, I'm like, oh, that's actually pretty long. And then the second half felt even longer. I don't know if that's the case. It really did feel longer. It didn't feel like it was too short overall. I didn't feel like it was too long overall. I felt like it was a really good amount of time. They covered a ton of ground, and did some unexpected things in that amount of time. And there was room for story. There was room for action. There was room for spectacle, and just taking everything in. Some really, really beautiful moments. Like I wasn't sure if I expected that. Like some really beautiful acting and visuals and stuff like that that I was kind of just blown away by. So really touching stuff that I was sitting there like, wow, this is This is important. This is special. This is awesome. So a lot fit into that time frame. There was an intermission, so after that first act, yeah. So let's see here. Oh, and I forgot to mention like the immersive experience that we got to do. There was a lot of stations which we actually did get to kind of witness back in New York back in April. But there was some new stuff like new rigs that they had. Actually, let me see if I have. All right, so I'll go through some of the pictures that we have here. So we have a gyrosphere. They had that out on display. This is a fully operational gyrosphere. It doesn't, it doesn't do the gyrosphere thing where the ball turns and rotates, but it does. You can see there's wheels underneath, and you can actually drive that from like inside there. So that's really awesome. The door opens up. I have sat in that. I'm assuming it's that one. Back in New York, it was really fun and really cool to sit in there. And it started off like it was involved in the show right away, so that was really cool. Let's see here. All right, so this was a view from our seating. I was just to the left of where we were sitting, so we sat right there on the ground level. And look at that, like those visuals are so good. Like the ground looked awesome. The lighting was super impressive. I really can't wait to see this in an actual arena, because this was not an actual arena. It was just a black box theater that they can set everything up and do like kind of, do their own setup and put chairs all over the place, and also rehearse all at the same time. But it was impressive. And there's curtains back there where it actually says Jurassic World Live Tour. That's a screen that they can, project stuff on, and that'll extend. Sorry, I'm hitting the mic here. That'll extend all the way out, like a lot farther, like over the seating area. Not to like obscure your view or anything, but so it can project a lot bigger of an area, which I am really excited to see in an actual arena setting, because it should be even more impressive. All right, so here's a picture of Madison Embry, myself, and Aaron Beyer, and I don't know why, but I look 90 years old. Oh man, it's so bad. I mean, I don't think I mean, like, I don't look that old here, right? But there, I'm absolutely 90 years old. So there's something about the lighting. That's what I'm chalking it up to. There was definitely some lighting issues when we were trying to take pictures here. But, and I forgot to mention, there's Jeannie, the Pteranodon back there. So she is one of the main characters. They are really great at balancing human characters and dinosaur characters. I know some people are iffy on if they want their dinosaurs to be characters, but I think this is a great version of that experience. So I think you guys will fall in love with the relationship between Dr. Kate Walker and Jeannie, and also just fall in love with all the dinosaurs that are in the show. So that's us right there. Here is Chris Pugh from Jurassic Outpost. He is operating this. Like I was saying, they have these dinosaur rigs, so you can kind of get an idea as to what it's like to operate one of their dinosaurs. So here we have a Raptor Head, and this one's pretty interesting to maneuver. They also had like a Pteranodon next to that, and this one specifically, there's so much movement, it's crazy. And this is not you're not wearing the full. I think it's like, don't quote me on this, but it's like 100-something pounds. I think they put me in like 60 pounds or something back in New York, and it was just a weight vest, and that was heavy. But these actors have to hold like the full dinosaur rig. They have to control everything, watch a video screen, look out the sides to see where they're going, and not trip and fall and break the thing. So that was really interesting to maneuver and to manipulate, and because you could actually test out the barking feature. You could open the mouth, chomp, and move around and swivel the head. And it was really hard at first, but once you kind of got into it for a few, you're like, oh, I can kind of like manipulate it in a certain way to sort of act like a dinosaur. And that is an undervalued skill, I think, for something like this is making the dinosaurs seem real. and they've certainly done that. When the dinosaurs get right up in your face in this show, feels like you got a dinosaur right in your face. So that was pretty awesome. What else we got here? So, all right, so here's a different shot. We got Jeannie, Madison, and you got the Jeep. That was an electric Jeep, so that was really cool to hear that thing like sneak up behind you. At one point, they did like a little presentation for the immersive experience, and the directors kind of zoomed in and just like cut across the stage and then got out and did it all pretty silently outside of the the wheels, like as they were turning. It was pretty funny. But yeah, that's awesome that they had that out there. And look at the visuals on that curtain back there. Really awesome. Some of that stuff like straight up looked like it was out of like Avatar. Like I was looking at it like, oh my God, am I on Pandora right now? But it felt natural. It felt really cool. So let's see what else we got here. All right, so we're back to the podcast roundtable. So yeah, and like I said, if you guys did not download that, go check it out. It's awesome. And it's great to hear from some really like people that just really love what they're doing. And that really showed through in everything that they discussed. And it like the entire environment, like just being there was really thrilling because everybody felt like they loved their job, like they loved producing this show, and they really, really can't wait to see what audiences are thinking. Let's see here. Oh, so go back to the questions over here. Jurassic Dave 93 says, "Do you plan on seeing it again?" Yes, absolutely. I definitely will be going back. So it's going to be, sorry, I'm like losing my voice here already. It's going to be at a few different arenas around me. So I'm going to try to hit up as many as I can. And so like I was saying, it's a canon experience. So you're not going to want to miss it. You're going to want to take in every ounce of canon that you can from this show. And there's subtle dialogue, there's cool scenes, like there is so much going on in this show that you probably will miss it. Like if you just like blink your eyes or look the wrong way or something like that, because there's just so much going on. And something like this, I mean, I don't know, but once it's gone, it's gone. You know, that's it. As far as I know, there's not any DVD or, there's not going to be any recreation of this outside of the live tour. So if you miss it, you miss it. So try your best to get out there. Get nosebleed seats. Get whatever you can to witness this show, because once it's gone, it's gone. And you want that canon experience. You can hear us talk about it, but that doesn't help. You got to go see the show. So yes, Dave, I will be going as many times as I can. Diz 2121 says, "I plan on seeing it here in a few weeks with my young cousin. Wanted to know how long the show is." So hopefully I answered that for you. And I know a lot of people maybe aren't asking right now, but a lot of people are wondering about the ages. Like, what can I bring? Can I bring like my full family? Can I bring a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, whatever? And I think you just got to use your own discretion. If your kids are comfortable, seeing a dinosaur show or something that, like I said, there are moments where there's just pure acting and it's fairly quiet. So, if your kid can sit through that quietly and just have a good time and not be too much said, if your kids will watch Jurassic with you, go ahead, go see this show. And I got to the point where I'm like, should I bring my 2-year-old? I really think he would sit through this, to be honest. We did go to see one of Feld's shows back in, maybe like January or February or something like that. Disney on Ice came around. And yes, that's certainly a more kid-friendly show, of course. There's singing, there's dancing, there's ice skating, obviously, and tons of colorful costumes and stuff like that. So it definitely held his attention. He was on the edge of his seat the entire time. So they produced a great show for kids. And I just keep thinking, like, I don't know. I keep thinking if I should just risk it, just take him out there, because I think he honestly would sit through it. It's really, really fun. And I think like the visuals alone would entice him to sit still and watch it. So Rebel Commander 7 Star Wars Kid, what merchandise can you buy at Jurassic World Live Tour? There's a lot of stuff. And I don't know if you caught it before, but I said I'm going to do a full video on all the merchandise that you can see so far, because there's a lot of great stuff that they've already released to us. They showed us. There was some other stuff that we also saw that was behind the scenes, so probably won't get too deep into that just yet. But the show will be debuting next week, I believe. So, all that will probably be out there pretty soon. But there's some great stuff. Some, you can get your typical, cups and there's like weaponry and stuff like that for the tour, like the stuff that you can see within the show. There's shirts and hats and all kinds of stuff. There's no shortage of awesome stuff for Jurassic fans. Let's see here. Yeah, Jurassic Dave is getting hyped. You should be getting hyped. It's certainly worth getting hyped for. So Cohen Huffer here says, any news of it going international, or more specifically Australia? Australia, I have no idea. I would say this is hard because they did announce on our podcast that they are going international. So that was pretty much breaking news right then and there. They kind of hedged on it for a second. I asked it knowing full well that they would probably say nothing, but they actually did go ahead and just say, you know what, we're gonna go international. But that was about it. That was about the extent of what we heard. So, just keep your eyes open. By the time they start going international, I don't even know, to be honest. It might be, if they get around to it, late 2020 to 2021. It's going to be a while, because there's already dates out, well into 2020. And then that's only like half the country. There's still unannounced stuff that'll probably hit on the West Coast and throughout the middle of the country. So I don't really have a full answer for you, but this is going international. We can confirm that. Just as of where, I don't know. I would say maybe take a look at their other properties. If you want to go ahead and look at like the other ones I was mentioning, see where they've gone. Maybe there's a chance they could follow the same tour pattern. This is a huge show. So we're talking about giant dinosaur animatronics that you have to carefully transport across oceans. And I don't know how feasible that is, for all countries, but I know they're going to do their best to get to wherever they can to get this out to as many people as possible. We certainly relayed that Jurassic fans are super hardcore when it comes to taking in all that they possibly can. So the fans will show up wherever they go. I have no doubt about that. So just like I said, keep your eyes out and take a look at the patterns of other shows. See if maybe there's a chance that one of their other shows headed in your area. So hopefully they did. He's going to go ahead. Cohen is also going to go watch the replay. Yeah, watch the replay. Listen to the podcast. We got a full vlog coming, so there's going to be video footage of myself and Aaron and our experience, everything that we saw. We have some more stuff coming from the show itself, like 2 different videos, I believe, and the merchandise stuff that we've got coming. And we have a full review / breakdown of the entirety of the show, which will debut sometime in the coming weeks here. It's such a tough thing to release because it's not like a movie where pretty much everybody can see it day one. If you're hardcore enough, you can go day one and see it and be done with it, and then you know it. You know what it is. This is a bit different. Not everybody can go out to, I think they're in Ohio, and just go out to that show and then that's it. And then the whole world has seen it. If that's not the case, this is going to be touring, like I said, for years. And, it's going to take a while for everybody to see it. So we're going to release our content, but just know that, like I said at the beginning of this, we will fully mark and indicate when there's spoilers. And like that show that we recorded in the hotel room after we saw the show, full spoilers. So just be warned, do not listen to that. Don't spoil yourself. If people upload videos or pictures or audio or whatever it may be, don't do it. Don't spoil it for yourself. It's important. It's fun. It's amazing. So don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Just experience this in full, and you will absolutely not regret it. Let's see here. Yeah, Jacob Arnold has a really good point here, which I absolutely love this. He says, personally, I don't have a problem with dinosaurs being characters in the live show, since animals in real life do have their own individual personalities and character. I totally agree, man. I know a lot of people criticize the newer films for characterizing their dinosaurs, giving them names. But don't we do that? All my animals in my house have names, and they absolutely for sure have their own personalities, their own traits. And you could tell one dog from the next. They're very different. They're individual. They don't all act the same. So I think dinosaurs are certainly the same way, and I have absolutely no issue with the films, the live shows, the books, whatever it may be, representing them as characters. Let's see here. Justin Hooker says, is there a T-Rex in this? How's that? There is a T-Rex. We have a T-Rex. And somebody actually just said, where is this going, or something like that. Let me do you a favor here and look up the dates so we can actually just take a look real quick. Sorry, I'm just typing this in. All right, so let me go ahead and bring that up behind me here. There's a... Oh, let me get rid of this. Sorry, I know you guys aren't seeing this just yet, but... Oh, look at that. All right, so here's their website. Here, like a little description, experience it live. So where is the tour schedule and tickets? So yeah, like I said, they're in Columbus, Ohio, coming up here. Which way do I need to move? Nope, this way. Just to get out of, wrong arm. I can't move this arm. Sorry for the glitching there. When I'm not on the website itself, it kind of glitches. But we have Columbus, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, Albany, New York, Buffalo, New York, Pittsburgh, Rosemont, Illinois, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Detroit, Michigan, Hershey, Pennsylvania, Kansas City, Missouri, Indianapolis, Indiana, Huntsville, Alabama, Nashville, Tennessee, South Haven, Missouri, right? Mississippi? No, Mississippi. I don't know what these states are. Tampa, Florida, Miami, Florida, Orlando, Florida, Sunrise, Florida, Greensboro, North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Brooklyn, New York, Newark, New Jersey, Bridgeport, Connecticut, Uniondale, New York, Boston, Massachusetts, Greenville, South Carolina, Hampton, Virginia. So, I know a lot of you will probably want to meet up with friends and Jurassic fans. There will absolutely be tons of fan meetups. So if you are going, you'll have just fan sites. If we get out to any of these shows, we'll be sure to meet up with whoever we possibly can. I think that'll be an awesome experience to gather as many podcast listeners, Jurassic fans in general, and just kind of get together, take a picture, hang out for a few, do what we can in and around the area. So myself, I'll probably be heading out to Philly, if I can, to Brooklyn and Newark. I want to try to get to 1, 2, 3, all of those, if I can. So that'll be awesome. But yes, this thing is debuting. Is that next week, it looks like? Yeah, I believe so. September 26th through 29th in Columbus, Ohio. They are already out there getting everything set up. for their first show. And when we were talking with the directors, Dan and Ross, it was really sad because they have been working on this for like 2 to 3 years now, and once it debuts, that's it. They go their separate ways, and they go on to a new project and start working on something else. So it's not like they follow through the entire life cycle of this show. That's it. And that's pretty sad to know that they've worked tirelessly on this show and produce something really amazing for us fans, and then they just have to go and let it be its own thing. So yeah, it's exciting, it's scary, and I'm really excited to see the reactions. I think everybody out there will really love this show. We have a gallery here. He got Blue and Genie, and the crew there. Genie again, come face to face. You got a baby Stegosaurus. So yeah, I mean, this all pretty much comes to life exactly the way you kind of see it here. So yeah, just be prepared. It's awesome. It is really awesome. So unless we have any more questions, I'll probably go ahead and move on to our next topic, which I had this image up here behind me before, so I'm sure you guys know why. Give me 1 second here, bring up my other screen just to double check that there's no more questions or anything. And if you guys do have questions about this, continue to throw them in there. I know we're going long here. We're already 50 minutes in, and there's no slowing down just yet. So let's see here. And he stops in Washington State. So yeah, Terry, like I was saying, I don't know if you heard me before, but they do intend to open up more dates eventually. So just keep your eyes peeled to the website, or to our social medias, their social medias, and I'm sure you'll have an answer for that once the show gets kicked off and starts going. I'm sure they'll open up some more dates. Taco Power needs to get my tickets. Going to the Illinois one. Yeah, definitely get out there. Yeah, Jurassic Dave loves how they treat their dinosaurs as animals and not monsters. Justin asked if I'm going to see the show. Yeah, man. Corey is going, can't wait for it to hit Tampa, Florida. Yeah, man. That's pretty much where I just saw it. So, at their studios. So that's awesome. And B Vito just tuned in. Did we already talk about the Primal attack line? No, you are in luck. We have not gotten there yet. We have not even left our first topic, and we've been going for 50 minutes. So this is what Jurassic fandom is. It's just talking about this stuff for as long as humanly possible. Yeah, Mudosaurus says, I hope I have a chance. Make the chance. Make it happen. Do the best you can to get out there. Save your money. Travel out there. Don't miss it because it's going to be awesome. So yeah, like I said, if you have any more questions, throw them in there. I'll try to get to them throughout the show. But let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, which is Battle at Big Rock. So, actually, I there was something I wanted to bring up. Where was that? It was on Twitter. Let me actually go ahead and bring that up real quick. I forgot to get this one. So yeah, we're going to be talking about Battle at Big Rock. You guys saw it, right? I mean, what's your thoughts on spoilers? We don't have to get too deep, but I'm sure you guys saw it. If you didn't see it, go watch it right now. Go watch for 8 minutes and then come back. It's on Twitter, it's on YouTube, it's on everything. Jurassic World, a Jurassic World short film called Battle at Big Rock. If you have not seen it, go watch it right now for free on any, viewing platform pretty much. It's a short film set in between Fallen Kingdom and Jurassic World 3. So like Jurassic World Live Tour that's set in between Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, Battle at Big Rock is set in between Fallen Kingdom and Jurassic World 3, whatever that may be. All right, so I wanted to go to Colin's Twitter because he had mentioned something specifically about the animatronic. So if you have not heard about the animatronic, there is one in this show, and he does say mostly everything inside the trailer until the Allosaurus tears it apart is our animatronic, thanks to Legacy Effects. He mentioned that on Twitter. So I know somebody had reached out and asked, like, hey, what in this short is an animatronic? So that is what it is. So pretty much when you're in that trailer sequence and you see stuff kind of in the trailer, but going into it, breaking it apart, that's the animatronic there until it really just tears everything apart. And like any other Jurassic movie nowadays, there's a chance that the animatronic is not really what you're seeing, even though the animatronic was used in filming. For instance, like Fallen Kingdom, they had an animatronic Indoraptor on set. If they filmed it, they actually used it in the filming of the movie. But that's not really what you're seeing in the movie. That is not an animatronic. That's digitally essentially painted over, CG'd over, and what you're seeing is a new recreation of what was filmed on set. So who knows? Maybe something like that happened here. But I think either way, the fact that you can't really tell what is an animatronic and what's not an animatronic, that's awesome. That's really cool. So let me, while I'm bringing up my next thing here, I did a full reaction of Battle at Big Rock here on YouTube. We did a live stream the other night when it debuted, and I literally set it up just before the short aired on TV, and it maybe like 3 minutes before, and then I filmed my entire reactions, which was pretty funny. I've watched it a few times and listened back a few times because I also pulled the audio and uploaded it to the podcast feed. It's pretty comical to hear on the podcast feed because it's sometimes it's like silent for a little bit while I'm watching it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, don't do that. So it was pretty funny to hear my reactions back, especially after I've seen it so many times now. It's still just as thrilling. But yeah, it was pretty funny. And then I did a full kind of spoiler assessment of what I saw. So I'm not going to go too deep on all that stuff right now today, but if you want to hear me talk more in depth about it, go ahead and watch that. It was my first initial reactions right there on the spot. But yeah, so I wanted to pull up some more images here. So transitioning this over. So, all right. So Colin released a few behind the scenes pictures over on his Twitter. And so here is one of the babies. I think there was 2 babies. Pretty much anything that has babies, there's usually 2 babies. So here is one of them. So I'm assuming that they didn't like hang him, like backwards, like he was in the trailer, but there he is, safe and sound, not being eaten by a dinosaur or anything just yet. Here we have the little girl testing out the crossbow. So yeah, if you haven't seen this, get out of here. Like you probably don't want to be involved in this. Let's see here. Wait for 8 minutes. No, man. If you haven't seen it, just go ahead and leave for a few. But yeah, so we have this test footage here, or test shot of her holding the crossbow. Apparently this one was not double crossbow because they used a double crossbow in the short. Also, here are the maquettes that they use probably for lighting and stuff like that. You got the Allosaurus there and the Triceratops. So I find it interesting because I would love to see these in color because you just don't really they just don't really showcase the coloring or the descriptive features of the dinosaurs in the short. Everything is so dark, but it looks incredible. Like that's not a slight or anything. It's just so dark that you can't really see the colors. And we know based off the toys that the colors were so vivid. I don't really know if that's the case for the movie, if the colors were the same or very different, but at least for that Allosaurus, it looks like the colors were probably somewhat similar. Yeah, it's really hard to tell, but yeah, at least we get a good in-depth look at the like the structure of the face on both these animals here. So that's really, really cool. And if you have anything you want me to comment on for Battle at Big Rock, let me know. I'll go ahead and do that once I go through everything we're going to go through here. So here's another behind-the-scenes shot of the trailer sequence that they probably, sculpted out and figured out how they were going to shoot it. And there you can see a pretty intact trailer on the left, and then a pretty destroyed trailer on the right. So that's pretty much what it looked like at the end. Is that the same trailer? I mean, like, yeah, whatever. I mean, sure, it's the same one. Yeah, that thing is really, really wrecked. Really wrecked. Nothing too crazy. There's some storyboard-looking stuff on the back wall there. And actually, you know what? While I just said storyboard, I don't know if I can find this for you guys, but there was somebody on Instagram actually had all the storyboards, so I might have to try to track that down. Probably won't be able to do that for you just yet, but do my best. No, I can't find it. But all right, so let's move on to the next one here. All right, so we got some of the cast and I guess a stunt child. I think that's who that was. Cool, nothing too crazy going on in this picture. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm still like looking for these things that I was telling you about. No, nothing. Sorry, I'm wasting your time. All right, so this is pretty awesome, though. This is the animatronic that they used for that sequence, I guess, when it was kind of attacking into the trailer. Really impressive looking stuff. I mean, that animatronic looks really cool. The neck itself looks very flimsy. That doesn't really... I guess they kind of spared some expense there. I guess really because you don't really see much of that when it's kind of breaking into the trailer. So, they just kind of covered it up there. So that's what I was talking about earlier. When you see something like this and you see that, it's not a full animatronic like we were showing you with the Jurassic World Live Tour stuff. That has to be pretty seamless throughout the entirety of the animatronic because it's fully out in front of you. There's no visual effects to clean it up afterwards. So this is something that, was surely cleaned up afterwards, but it looks pretty awesome. That looks great. I love that. It looks awesome. Let's see here. We have, I think this is like the after party. Two girls talking. I don't know if that's like Colin's daughter and the girl from the film itself. Definitely that's her. All right. So the next thing I wanted to talk about real quick. I know a lot of people were looking at the timeline of events here, and I don't know if you guys saw this or not. I know a lot of people have seen this already, but take a look at the what do you call it? The ticker there on the bottom of this dash cam footage that was at the end of the film itself. They had these little homemade videos, basically, of people encountering dinosaurs. And here you have one where a Stegosaurus is crossing the street. And I just wanted to point out, if you guys didn't notice it, but the timeline is there, 3/10/2019. So this is supposed to take place a year after Fallen Kingdom. I don't know, like, what is the timeline of events for Fallen Kingdom? To be honest, I don't really know. Off the top of my head, at least. Let me see. But at least we know that this little thing here took place in March. So yeah, that's pretty cool to see. And also, we can confirm that the rest of the short probably also took place in March, unless these characters are not too keen on flipping their calendars, which, surely people aren't. But that calendar in the back also indicates that it's March 2019 because you can match up those dates. It's a little blurry right there, but it does say March, and those dates do correspond with the dates in March of this year. So that was inside the camper there. So as they're getting attacked, you can see that on the wall. So keen eye viewers can check that out if you want. But it's just a little thing that I'm sure people are interested in seeing. So there you go. And like I said, this is supposedly supposed to take place 1 year after the events that unleashed the dinosaurs from Lockwood's estate, and about 20 miles away. So really, they haven't gone too far, and there hasn't really been many dinosaur-human interactions at all, especially major ones. I think this is the first one, which is kind of crazy. But there has been some sightings in that year. So, yeah, I'm just assuming it's a very, very dense area full of trees and not a lot of hikers, I guess. But what else do we got? Do we got anything else? Oh, yeah, so I did want to point out our buddy Sickle_Claw, Matt, asked on Twitter about the characters, and we do have the names. So I wish we had last names here. Because this is a very interesting family. I would love to know more about this family because we know that they are very new, which I found a little funny just because it's like, why are they saying that they're a new family 2 years on? Like, it's just like, okay, like, you're not that new. Sort of. I guess especially because these kids are maybe, 6 to 10 years old, somewhere in that range. So in terms of kid years, maybe it's still new. It kind of looks like, they're from separate families that maybe divorced, a typical trope for Jurassic. And then these two families are coming together. They had a kid together, it looks like. And, now they're a full family, a new family. But Dennis there, Andre Holland, the father, Mariana, Natalie Martinez, who was the mother, Kadasha, Melody Hurd, and Mateo Pearson Salvador. So there's your character names, just in case you were curious about who those characters were. We don't have a name for the baby, though. Maybe it's like 2 years on, and they're like, this is still new, guys. We haven't named him yet. He doesn't have a name. It's still new, so bear with us. We'll get to a character name eventually. But I think that was it. So, yeah, nameless baby right there. And yes, Andrew, I just saw, says he believes they're from Oakland. Yeah, I think Colin said that in an interview with Collider. So let's go ahead. I want to take a look at some of your questions. See what we can find out. Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes here. All right. So Terry says, I loved Battle at Big Rock. I had to watch it the other day after on YouTube because I wasn't able to stay awake long enough to watch it. Oh man, I feel for you, man. I feel for you. That stinks. It was kind of an odd timing because it was like 9:50 at night here on the East Coast, and then you had to wait another 3 hours over here on our end for the West Coast to see it. And then that is when it actually was released online, which was 1 a.m. here. I stayed up again to watch it again. I watched it online afterwards, and I've watched it online several times since. It is so awesome. It's so quick, so fast-paced. For 8 minutes, you can just throw it on anytime. And I've actually done, just listen to the audio, because that's a fun thing to do, is just put on some headphones and just throw that thing on, but don't look at it. Just kind of sit there, just close your eyes, maybe just relax and just listen to it, because you'll pick up some stuff that maybe you didn't hear before. It's really cool to hear the sound design, all the stuff that went into it, because sometimes the visuals take away from what you're hearing. And I know specifically when in my reaction, I was like halfway through and I'm like, oh no, I forgot to listen to the music, because I really wanted to hear what the music was like, and I forgot halfway through, and then luckily I we still got the Lost World stuff at the end. Let's see here. Jurassic Dave says, Battle at Big Rock was cool, new, and familiar while showing us a whole new world, pun intended, for the franchise. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It was cool. It was new, and it was what was the last thing you said? Familiar. Definitely, definitely had familiar vibes, and just some new vibes because it's nothing that we've ever seen. Like that stuff at the end, while the actual short was so awesome and impressive, I was actually more impressed with the kind of retrofitted imagery at the end because those clips that you see are real clips, real videos from people online, that they kind of repurposed and threw dinosaurs in there, which is awesome. So that is a great way to showcase what dinosaurs have been up to and how they've been interacting with humans over the past year, moving forward into Jurassic World 3. I hope we get more stuff like that. Let's see here. Yeah, Dan's Corner said, love the credits. True horror aesthetic. Yeah, that's awesome. Mutosaurus says, question, did they actually scare the baby with the making of this? Yeah, I was wondering that myself. I mean, probably. I feel bad. I mean, probably. I don't know how you couldn't scare the baby with all that. It's kind of natural. I mean, the baby was crying and probably scared. I don't know how you coach a baby to cry on command, really, but I don't know. I have no idea how they get babies to do that, how they get babies to act and be comfortable in the situations that they're in. Because, look, I mean, they didn't really ask to be put into a movie, or to see a dinosaur animatronic ripping apart a trailer, but I'm sure there was a lot of safety involved and a lot of care involved. So who knows? But yeah. Yeah, Game Videos for Life said the Pseudoceratops had the Jurassic World evolution colors. Certainly, I think the colors that we saw from the whether it's the Jurassic World Alive or the Jurassic World Evolution renditions, they were certainly a lot more muted than what we got from Mattel. So, yeah, that's probably what we got in this short itself. And certainly things changed from Mattel onward. The Allosaurus looks nothing like the sculpt that we see in the movie. Luckily, they opted for a more natural Allosaurus look instead of the crazy theropod that we got from the toy line. So, yeah. I just kind of got a glimpse at Victoria talking about Big Rick. spelling era that era. No, that's a speaking error. There we go. Error was the right word. You can't even make fun of a spelling error without a mouth error. I don't know. But yeah, that was a fun joke. I got a kick out of the Big Rick when chatting with Victoria earlier, so that was pretty funny. But yeah, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and because we are this is going pretty long, so we're gonna go ahead and move on to our next topic. So if you guys are just catching up, we actually already talked Jurassic World Live Tour. So once this is done, if you want to go ahead and watch back, rewind and go ahead to the beginning, we talk all about Jurassic World Live Tour. Then we follow that up with Battle at Big Rock. Now we're going to go ahead and go over to Mattel's Primal Attack. So I know our friends over at Collect Jurassic and Jurassic Outpost covered the Primal Attack line that's coming from Mattel. We haven't really got to cover it too much yet in any fashion, so we're going to do it right here. Let's see. Let me get this going again. All right, so transitioning this back over. Hey, we got some Twitter back there. Let me go ahead and switch that. Where's my stuff? There it is. All right, so we're going to go over to Jurassic Outpost. They have a summary here of what you can find from the Primal Attack toys that have been revealed. So we have the Control and Conquer Carnotaurus. So this is pretty interesting looking. Not really in love with it, but yeah, I don't really know where the images came from or anything, but Primal Attack is the new 2020 toy line that they did release or announced, I guess, back at San Diego Comic-Con. They talked about it. They released some imagery, talked about like all the different species that we're going to be getting, and actually mentioned that some of the Primal Attack figures are going to be potentially featured in Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous, the upcoming show from DreamWorks and Universal that's going to be on Netflix. Yeah, so that's pretty interesting to know that, whatever we may be seeing here in this toy line could be in the show. So as far as I can tell so far, it doesn't look like anything has like a box that says "as seen in Camp Cretaceous." I don't know if they wanted to get themselves in that trouble that they did with Battle at Big Rock earlier this year, but maybe this artwork isn't final. You can see here, I think it says something like preliminary or something on the. Can you guys even see that? Did I even get that in? Yeah. All right. So no, it's kind of small, but the Carnotaurus box art looks like it has watermarks all over it that says like preliminary, I think. So yeah, so I think they showed this one off. This Control and Conquer Carnotaurus. And Victoria, I know if you're still in the chat, if you want to correct me at any point, go ahead. I know you're more of the toy aficionado. But I'm just going to relay the information I see. So if you want to chime in, let me know. And I believe a lot of these summaries and prices and stuff came from Entertainment Earth, at least on Jurassic Outpost's website. So yeah, as far as that Carnotaurus is looking and that box art, I know a lot of people were into this box art, but it's just not doing it for me. I'm not really into it. I think there's just too much going on, too many colors, not vivid enough. I personally, and I know a lot of you, were really into the Dino Rivals look. That has been so far my favorite box art that Mattel has produced. I think it's incredible looking on a shelf, and certainly I think it makes the dinosaurs look even better. So far, from what I'm seeing here, is it doesn't make the dinosaurs look better, at least in these promo images. Now, again, this stuff is not necessarily final, but what we're seeing is what we're seeing, so that's all I can really comment on. But we got another Carnotaurus here that has more features and action and stuff. Looks like it has some sound there, and a new paint job, which I'm just not really loving. So the version that's in the promo image by itself looks a lot better than what I'm seeing in the box art. Sorry, I hit the mic. Yeah, again, we have Owen in blue. If you guys really want me to, I'll dive into my Owen voice for you. I know so many of you love it, obviously, and are not annoyed by my Owen impressions whatsoever. So if you want me to go ahead, I'll go ahead and do that for you each and every video still, and do it now. No. Man, I keep losing my video or my. But yeah, so that's the Control and Conquer Carnotaurus. But yeah, it has a lot of play features on there, which seem nice, and the addition of the audio is pretty good. We got some massive biters, Tarbosaurus. Massive biters. All these names, Control and Conquer, massive biters. Just call it Tarbosaurus. All these names just end up getting too confusing for me, too convoluted in a way. Like Control and Conquer, that's just like there's a lot going on there. Massive biters, sure, whatever. This is another one. I know people are really into this one, but me saying people are really into this one means that I am not so much. I don't know, just not really doing it for me. It doesn't really feel like it falls in line with some of the other ones. I know the sculpt and everything is honestly, it looks like they just ripped, some of their other pieces apart, put some things together, and now we have a Tarbosaurus. But I don't know why it just um, doesn't feel Jurassic to me. I don't know. Maybe it's the coloring, but so far with these two items, not too thrilled. We have a massive biter, Sarcosuchus. So certainly very excited by this. This is pretty cool. Something completely different, something unique. Really excited by that. Looks really cool. I love that snout, man. That thing is massive. That's really cool. And I'm assuming this should be pretty big. It's a $20 price range there. The $20 ones are always pretty big, so I'm excited by that. We got a sound strike. See, I feel like this should be like sound and strike or something like that, but it's just sound strike. Crylophosaurus is certainly a unique looking one. What do you guys think? Do you like this Crylophosaurus? I don't know. I don't think I'm really into this one, to be honest. It does, outside of the crest and everything, I feel like it does feel like one of the, the same dinosaurs that we've seen. Legs look very similar. Body looks similar. The arms look a bit different, but they look like they came from something else and just placed on there. The head looks interesting. I like that. I mean, it's kind of interesting. I'm just not totally in love with this one yet. I like how there's a mouse, like a clicker. Is that? No, what is that? Is that what that is? Oh no, it looks like a mouse clicker, like on the box art, but I guess it's just an up and down motion. An odd version of the up and down motion. I know the other boxes like have done better. Yeah, like this one has like a twist feature on the Tarbosaurus. That one has a twist, but this just has a random like up and down motion, along with a sound strike. All right, so sound strike again. We got the Edmontosaurus. All right, so now we're getting somewhere. Now I like the Sarcosuchus. I love this Edmontosaurus. I think the coloring is pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's unique. It's different. This body, I mean, this body looks so similar to the Paralophosaurus. I'm sure there's some differences there, but just on first glance, it looks very similar. And if you guys watched my review, I didn't really love that figure, but this one, at least here in this version, this iteration, looks really, really cool. And this I would absolutely pick up as soon as I saw that. $14.99. We have the Soundstrike Triceratops, $14.99 as well. So probably, I'm assuming I think that's around the same price range, similar box. So it doesn't look like we're moving up in size or anything like that. Looks like the same. The frill looks slightly different, at least. I don't know if it's just the positioning here, but the frill looks pretty good on this thing. The coloring is decent, but this is one I'll have to see in person. I'm just not really in love with the size of these trikes. But there you go. And again, if you guys have any questions or comments on these, go ahead, throw them in the chat. I'll get to them when I can. We have a Soundstrike Pteranodon. Interesting. Not really a fan of the Pteranodon figures all that much. This is, it just looks like another one. Again, like I just don't really like how that looks in that box. It doesn't stand out to me. And there's just too much going on. All right, here we go. Now we're getting somewhere again. Savage Strike. So we're continuing with the Savage Strike, it seems. Pachycephalosaurus. Now this is really, really cool. Really, really cool. We've seen the old versions here, but this is a brand new Pachycephalosaurus. Looks awesome. Really, really cool. Same coloring and everything, right? That's awesome. Really cool. This is like a day one as well. Like you got to get this one. Savage Strike. That's awesome. Attack moves like biting, head ramming. I'm sorry. That's just I guess for everything, because there's no wing flapping on this one. I was reading the summary down there. I don't see the designated area to press. Probably somewhere along the back, or no, or maybe even the tail. Maybe to move the tail. But that's an awesome looking figure. I need to have this one. Savage Strike, Sorapelta. Interesting. Yeah. What's that one? I'm blanking on the name, but it looks like that. Just without the big spikes coming out the side. Minmi kind of looks similar to the Minmi, but with like the Ankylosaurus head. I'm assuming it's maybe slightly bigger or around the same size. I don't know. But interesting, very interesting looking thing. And a unique swivel, it looks like, on this dinosaur. Yeah, it's hard to tell. It looks like the back kind of swivels a little bit or turns, but also the head has some motion there to it. So this will be one that I need to really see in person because it's super interesting looking, at least the sculpt and everything. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Savage Strike Velociraptor. So here we have another Savage Strike. What's this have? Does this have like the clawing action, stuff like that? So it does not say here, if this is a dinosaur that we know. It does look, very reminiscent of Charlie. And also, it's making me think about that trailer for Camp Cretaceous. Really does look like that Velociraptor that was in that trailer. So maybe this is one of those Camp Cretaceous dinosaurs. Maybe that one in the trailer is Charlie. Maybe it's not Charlie. I don't know. There's an odd coincidence there, but this is pretty good. And if this is a new rendition of Charlie, it looks pretty good. I like that. Don't really care for the Savage Strike features on these Raptors, but not too bad. That's $9.99. So we also have a Savage Strike Pachycephalosaurus. Man, the Pachycephalosaurus is one of the biggest disappointments for me in this toy line. It just looks cheap. I'm sorry, Mattel. I really am, but it just looks cheap to me. I love so many of the Mattel products, for this Jurassic toy line, but this is not one that I have ever picked up. Yeah, no, I had to think about that for a second. I'm like, wait, did I get that purple one? No. Just really not, I'm just not digging it. I don't think that this has changed at all outside of the coloring, but it's just not one that I'm into. I feel like the action feels cheap, and the sculpt, it just looks boring to me. Not really into it. The Pachycephalosaurus is such a cool toy from our past, but I just haven't really been able to get into the new ones. So I know a lot of people are into them, think they're cool, but it's just not for me. Sorry. All right, so we got Primal Attack Pack assortment. Herrerasaurus, I mean, so wait, are they just repacking these? Because that Herrerasaurus and the the Protoceratops, sorry, very similar. Protoceratops down there are the same that we already have. You have the Minmi, you have the Rhamphorhynchus, the Dracorex, and then two down there that I don't know what they are. Let's see here. They're guessing that the blue iguanodon-like dinosaur we believe to be a Crylophosaurus, and the slender brown dinosaur we think may be Ornithotheliastis. Yeah, I know I'm really good at pronouncing dinosaur names. So yeah, maybe that's what they are. I do like those two. Kind of tired of the other ones. Kind of tired of them. Maybe I pick up that Minmi. I do think the Minmi is pretty cute. So maybe I would get that one. The Dracorex, maybe. Rhamphorhynchus, I don't know. I don't really need another one. But those other two, I kind of I really dig those. I think they look cool. I do like that blue and orangey paint scheme on that one on the bottom. Looks really awesome. We also have Primal Attack Battle Damage Assortment featuring Trike. You got Stiggy, and you got a Raptor, and you got this thing. Whatever that is. What is that? No. Yeah, it says that they're even uncertain on it. So, who knows? I have a big dinosaur board over there. Let's see. Does it look like anything? I don't know. I can't read from this far away, but but I do think that one looks pretty cool, and it's a different, unique sculpt. Battle damage. So this is probably like what a Walmart exclusive if they follow the same trend. But I do like that. I like the coloring. The trike is somewhat interesting to me. That's going to be a smaller version because these battle damage ones are usually a bit smaller. So it's interesting though because it's got the adult sculpt, which always bothers me when you see these shrunk down adult sculpts. The body is certainly different, but the head is not. I don't remember. Do you guys remember? Is there another one that looks like this? I think there was, right? But I don't think I got that one. Again, not really hugely into the trikes, but this one looks kind of interesting. I don't need another Stiggy. This is like literally looks just a little bit more orange. Is it even? Or is this just a picture? Yeah, no, it just says re-release, so it looks like the same one. And a Grave Velociraptor repaint. So sure, I need another Raptor, I guess. I kind of am into getting as many Raptors as I can, so sure, I'll probably get that one as well. The mini blind bag dinosaurs. I'm not too hugely into them, but I do like the ones that I have. A few like a Patasaurus. I think I have all of them. Or no, I'm sorry. I have all of like the first line and then a few of the other ones. I do not have a Brachiosaurus, so I'll be interested to find the Brachiosaurus. I think that came in like a multi-pack, which I never got around to getting. But we have that Pachycephalosaurus, Pachycephalosaurus, Spino, which kind of looks cheap. And then a Parasaurolophus, Carnotaurus, basic budget 6-inch assortment. Sure. Yep. Basic budget 12-inch assortment. Sure. That Proceratosaurus looks pretty cool. Spino looks interesting. Basic masks. So this is green Rex. You got the brown Rex, and then you got this Raptor, right? Is it a Raptor? Yeah, I think so. Interesting looking. I don't know what that is, but it's cool. Snap Squad. But yeah, we were really just here to focus on the Primal Attack. So going back, because I kind of looked at this Savage Strike and I thought, well, maybe this is part of Camp Cretaceous because of that trailer. Going through here, I want to take a look at some of these other ones that they have here on the site just to see. So Carnotaurus, I think we know that one's going to be in the show, probably. Tarbosaurus, I don't know, maybe, probably not. I would say probably not. I could definitely see the Sarcosuchus in there. That would certainly be like a villain of the week kind of thing for sure. This one, the Crylophosaurus, I could definitely see that being in the show. I could see that being in there. It's got like such a pronounced like sculpt and color pattern. I could definitely see that being part of it. Maybe we'll see a trike. I don't know. Pososuchus. That would be awesome to see in that show. Sauropelta, maybe. But yeah, I think that's probably about it. I mean, maybe we'll get like this blue one and this brown one because they just seem like so random. But yeah. I guess that's kind of my thoughts, at least, on that. Oh, yeah, I just wanted to bring up something else, so bear with me here. All right, so over here, I believe we're switching over to Collect Jurassic. You can see here. I just wanted to see if they had anything else. But no, it looks to be all the same kind of imagery here. Oh, we got an extreme chomping T-Rex with the bite and fight looking colors, which is really cool. That's definitely the best color scheme so far. Massive biters. But yeah, all the same stuff. And I did want to point out something that they had indicated here on the front page. The legacy Brachiosaurus has been spotted on the registries for these stores, so you can actually see they're stocking them. They're on their way. They're on their way to Targets, guys. So just keep your eyes peeled. Didn't mean to go back there, but Brachiosaurus is making its way out to its street date in October. I think it was October 6th. So keep your eyes peeled. Head out to Target. See what you can do about getting these things out of the store before street date if you possibly can, but they will be there. So save up your money. Save up your $50. You're going to want to save up probably more than that because you're going to need herds of these things. But yeah, there you go. Good news, guys. Good news. That's awesome. But let's go ahead over here to the chat because I know you guys are still going crazy. I know you guys wanted to talk about the toys as well. And if you do, again, if you have any questions about Jurassic World Live Tour, let me know. If you have any questions about or thoughts about Jurassic World Battle at Big Rock, let me know. I'll try to answer those as well. But let's see here. Where did we leave off? Game Videos for Life says this line has me incredibly excited. I'm glad. I'm glad because it doesn't have me all that excited just yet. I got to see these things in person. I'm sure I will definitely like a lot more of them because even, to be honest, a lot of these ones that I saw back at Toy Fair, I wasn't really too thrilled on them, but I've certainly come around on a lot of them. So there's definitely the chance that, you know, my mind will change. Let's see here. Andrew Ochoa says, I wonder if this toy line has trading cards that the Dino Rivals brought to the table. I would probably side on the side. I would probably say no. I feel like the trading card thing was a Dino Rivals thing. So I don't know if they will be in this one just because it's a different line. It's a different way of thinking. So Dino Rivals was specifically about battling your dinosaurs based off their stats. So I don't know if that's coming into play here, but we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Game Videos for Life again. So hyped for the Sarco. Mutosaurus says, can't wait to get this Crylophosaurus. Terry says, I wonder if we'll get a Genie figure from Mattel. I don't know, man. I don't know. That would be awesome if we did. I would definitely love a Genie figure. Genie deserves it. So... B Vito says, so far the Edmontosaurus is the only one I'm probably picking up. Yeah, I get that. I get that. A lot of these don't really have me all that excited. I will say all the previous two lines, you know, the Fallen Kingdom line, the Dino Rivals line, there was a lot of excitement around them. A lot of excitement. But I don't know. I don't know if maybe it's because we've seen all the dinosaurs that we know and love, and now we're just getting a bunch of random stuff for the most part. But I think once Camp Cretaceous debuts and some of these dinosaurs will be featured in there, I think the excitement will definitely grow. Yeah, hopefully that hype builds. And I think Mattel needs to do some stuff to build that hype, to get the fans interested in this line again. So hopefully they can do that. But the red, B Vito says the red makes it feel like a McDonald's toy a bit. Which one are you talking about? The Crylophosaurus or the background? Are you talking about the backgrounds? Or are you talking about the Sorabelta or the Savage Strike Pachycephalosaurus? So which one? Which one are you talking about? What am I going to do here? Let me move this back over here just so I don't glitch all over the place on you guys. Yeah, continuing on with the comments here. Game Videos for Life says you keep saying things look similar to other creatures when they should, like it is a bad thing. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's I don't know if I'm meaning it's a bad thing per se, but I'm just saying it looks like they've maybe recycled some parts or something like that. And they should and they shouldn't. You know, sometimes, like in the case of the Allosaurus that we got, now that the body was certainly recycled from the previous Allosaurus. It looks like it was beefed up a little bit. But that head, it's like, that doesn't look anything like what an Allosaurus should look like. So in certain cases, like, that's good. That's well and good. But other cases, it's like, well, you're recycling these things on things that don't necessarily look like that. Or like the Sinoceratops Pachycephalosaurus issue. Mutosaurus says, I think it's a Metrocanthosaurus. Maybe like a juvenile or something like that. But, I mean, we already have a Metrocanthosaurus, and it doesn't look anything like that, really. But, yeah, I think that's probably about it. So, whew, man. Man, we talked about a lot. I did not expect to go for an hour and 41 minutes, but here we are. We did a lot of talking tonight. We talked about Jurassic World live tour. Again, incredible show. For anybody who didn't catch me talking about that before, it's awesome. It's so much fun. We got a chance to go see it. Go back and watch the beginning of this video. Go check out our podcast roundtable that we did with some of the creators. Super informative, a lot of reveals and information in there. We have a full like spoiler breakdown coming in a few weeks or a week or however long. I haven't decided yet. We have a ton of videos coming your way, stuff on the merch. We have a vlog. We have more stuff from the live show, a scene, all this great stuff. Keep watching our channels for more Jurassic World live tour, more Battle at Big Rock. We talked all about that before. And we talked about these toys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It was definitely fun chatting with you over on the side. Make sure to share this around, get everybody talking about these things, because I want you people to really enjoy Jurassic World live tour. So yeah, where are we? Yeah, that's about it though. So let me go ahead and cue in some music here. Get you guys fading out here on the end of the show. But if you guys are not following the podcast itself, I know a lot of the YouTube video or the YouTube viewers stick to YouTube, but we do have the podcast as well. So go download that on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, our website, wherever podcasts are found. You can download the Jurassic Park podcast. I host that. We are on a slight hiatus right now for our main episodes. We usually do the big intros, the outros, all that good stuff, all the segments. Right now, we're not doing that just yet. We're probably going to pick up very soon. But we've been releasing all kinds of random bonus episodes for you guys because there's been so much news and information out there. So trying to keep you guys in the loop. But yeah, check out the podcast, download it, subscribe here on YouTube. Share these videos around, comment below in the actual comment section. I know you guys have been going crazy over in the chat. But also follow us on social media, Jurassic Park Pod over on Twitter, Jurassic Park Podcast. You can search for us on Instagram and Facebook. We do have a private Facebook group. If you want to go ahead and chat with us in there, you can have great conversations, share some stuff. But make sure you answer those 2 questions to get into that podcast group. So 2 simple questions. If you don't answer those, we unfortunately are denying people because we do get a lot of requests. Some of which are like real, some are fake. So we try to keep it clean and simple with a lot of our listeners. So please answer those 2 questions. If you forget and I deny it, go back, answer them again. But yeah, so is that it? I think that's probably it. I'm like asking my crew members, hey guys, did I cover everything? Yeah? All right, cool. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and enjoy. Transition. Oh, I didn't transition. That's my problem. Good job on the... I forgot to set it up, but yeah, let's try that again. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and enjoy.